My name is Elizabeth Harrington, Liz to those who matter. 57 years old. Self-made. Zero inheritance. I own 32 buildings. In Charlotte, North Carolina. When people look at the skyline, they're looking at me. I built an empire from a 2-bedroom apartment in Brooklyn with $600 and a business plan I wrote on napkins at 3 in the morning. 33 years later, I have more money than I can spend in 5 lifetimes. But the only thing I ever truly loved, the only thing I built, that wasn't about winning, was my daughter. Rebecca, 29 years old, concert pianist, not just good, transcendent. The kind of talent that makes grown men cry and music critics run out of words. She married young, 23. A man named Jonathan Pierce. Architect, charming, from old Charlotte money. The kind of family that says grace before dinner and plays golf on Sundays. I didn't love him, but Rebecca did. And when your daughter looks at you with those eyes and says, "Mom, he's the one," you smile and write the check for the wedding. May 15th, 2025, Charlotte Shoot Festival, the arts event of the year. Rebecca is the headliner at Belk Theater, 2,400 seats, sold out in 40 minutes. I'm in the VIP section, front row center, wearing a black Armani suit that cost more than most people's cars. Next to me, my best friend since college, Diane Mitchell. We built our 20s together in New York. She moved to Charlotte 6 years ago to be closer to family, closer to me, to Rebecca. Diane is 7 months pregnant. Glowing. Finally having the baby she always wanted. She's 49. Miracle pregnancy, the doctors called it. Her husband left her 2 years ago. She did IVF alone. I held her hand through every appointment, every injection, every disappointment. When she finally got pregnant, I cried harder than she did. Rebecca takes the stage in a midnight blue gown, hair pulled back, no jewelry except the diamond studs I gave her for her 21st birthday. The piano is a Steinway Model D, 9 feet of perfect black lacquer. She sits, adjusts the bench. The theater goes silent. Even the breathing stops. Rachmaninoff Piano Concerto No. 3, the piece that ends careers and breaks fingers. 30 minutes of controlled chaos. The most technically demanding piece in the standard repertoire. Rebecca has performed it 17 times. Flawlessly. Every single time. The orchestra begins. Strings like thunder rolling in. Rebecca's hands move. 10 fingers. 88 keys. Magic. Pure magic. The first movement builds. Tender, then violent, then tender again. I watch her face. She's somewhere else. Somewhere the rest of us can't follow. This is what peace looks like. Second movement. Slower. Heartbreaking. The melody wraps around your chest and squeezes. I glance at Diane. She's crying. Hand on her belly. Tears streaming down her face. I reach over and squeeze her arm. She squeezes back. Third movement. The cadenza. This is where pianists prove they're human or God. Rebecca's hands are flying. Impossible runs. Octaves that shouldn't be possible. The music is building, building toward the final explosion of sound. And then she stops. Hands frozen above the keys. The orchestra continues for 2 measures before the conductor realizes. He cuts them off. Silence. The kind of silence that has weight, that crushes. Rebecca turns. Looks directly at me. Her face is not the face of my daughter. It's the face of someone who just watched their entire world end. She leans forward, speaks into the microphone that's meant only for the orchestra to hear. Her voice carries through 2,400 seats like a gunshot. "Mom, I can't play this piece anymore. It was written for someone who never loved me back." My heart stops. Completely stops. Every eye in the theater is on her. Then on me. I stand up. I don't remember deciding to stand. My body just does it. For the first time in 33 years of business, hostile takeovers, boardroom wars, and billion-dollar negotiations, I don't know what to do. Rebecca stands. The blue gown catches the stage lights. She walks off stage left. No bow. No explanation. Just gone. The murmuring starts. A wave of confusion rolling through the crowd. I push past Diane, past the other VIP guests. I move toward the side exit. My heels click on marble. Too loud. Everything is too loud. I catch her backstage. She's standing in the hallway, still in the gown, mascara running. She's shaking. Rebecca, what happened? Talk to me. She looks at me, my brilliant, beautiful girl, and she says 5 words that detonate my entire universe. Jonathan and Diane. For 6 years. I hear the words. I understand them individually, but together they don't make sense. They can't make sense. What are you saying? The baby. Her voice cracks. Shatters. Mom. The baby is Jonathan's. The hallway tilts. No, spins. My best friend, my daughter's husband. 6 years. The baby. Behind me, I hear footsteps. Diane appears in the hallway. Hand on her swollen belly. Face pale. She knows. She knows that Rebecca just told me. Liz, please, let me explain. I hold up one hand. My voice, when it comes, is not my voice. It's something colder. Something I didn't know I had inside me. Not one word. Not here. I look at Rebecca. At Diane. At the ruins of everything I thought was true. We're going to my house. All of us. Right now. We drive in silence. 3 cars. My Mercedes. Rebecca in her Tesla. Diane in her Lexus SUV. 20 minutes through Charlotte at 11:30 at night. Streets empty. City lights blurring past. My house is on Queens Road West. Myers Park. Old money neighborhood. Tree-lined streets. Homes that cost what small countries spend on defense. I bought this white colonial 15 years ago. 6 bedrooms. Wraparound porch. The kind of house I dreamed about when I was 24 and eating ramen in Brooklyn. I bought it so Rebecca could have what I never did. Stability, beauty. A normal Southern childhood. Not normal in the money sense. Normal in the root sense. Easter services at Street. Peter's Catholic Church. Barbecue at Quail Hollow Club on Sunday afternoons. Piano recitals at Wingate University where people wore sundresses and brought flowers. I used to brag about it. At business conferences, at charity galas. I'd have one too many glasses of wine and I'd say it. I built a billion-dollar empire so my little girl would never have to choose between art and security. People would smile, nod, tell me I was an inspiration. Tonight the house looks like a mausoleum. We park, walk inside. I don't turn on all the lights, just the ones in the living room. The grand piano sits in the corner. A Steinway Model B, 7 feet. Rebecca's practice piano. She's played it 10,000 times, maybe more. Diane sits on the cream sofa, hands still on her belly, protective, like she has any right to protect anything. Rebecca stands by the window, arms crossed, looking out at nothing. I pour myself bourbon. Woodford Reserve. Neat. I don't offer anyone else a glass. 6 years. My voice is steady. Years of boardrooms taught me how to control tone. You're going to tell me everything. Right now. Diane opens her mouth. I cut her off. Not you. Her. Rebecca turns. Her eye makeup is destroyed. Black streaks down both cheeks. She looks 16. Vulnerable. Broken. It started the summer after our wedding. Jonathan said he needed space, that I was too intense, too focused on music. He started working late, coming home smelling like perfume that wasn't mine. Her voice is flat. Mechanical, like she's reading a grocery list. I knew something was wrong. I hired a private investigator. Got photos, video, bank records, hotel receipts, 6 years of evidence. Jonathan and Diane. Sometimes at her place, sometimes at hotels, once at our lake house while I was in Boston for a masterclass. Diane makes a sound, a sob or a gasp. I don't look at her. The baby, Rebecca continues. She told me 3 months ago. Said it was IVF. Anonymous donor. I believed her. I threw her a shower. Here. In this house. 50 guests. Catered lunch. I played Brahms' Lullaby on that piano. She points at the Steinway. Her hand shakes. 2 weeks ago, Jonathan told me he wanted a divorce. Said he'd fallen in love with someone else. Wouldn't tell me who. Said he'd give me a clean break. Keep the house. Fair split of assets. How generous, I say. The bourbon burns. Yesterday, I got the DNA test results. I took hair from Jonathan's brush, convinced Diane to do an early paternity test for genetic screening. Paid the lab extra for a comparison. She pulls her phone from a small purse I hadn't noticed, holds it up, shows me a document. Clinical, scientific, 99.9% probability of paternity. That baby is his. Diane is crying now. Full sobs. Liz, please, it wasn't supposed to happen. We never meant to hurt anyone. It just happened. I finally look at her. This woman I've known for 31 years, who held me when my mother died, who danced at my daughter's wedding, who I trusted with everything. You carried on an affair with my daughter's husband for 6 years. You got pregnant with his child. You let me hold your hand through every appointment. You let Rebecca throw you a baby shower. And you're telling me it just happened. We love each other. Her voice is desperate, pleading. Liz, we really love each other. This baby, it's a miracle. I'm 49, this is my only chance. Built on my daughter's marriage. Jonathan was going to leave her anyway, he told me. He was just waiting for the right time. Rebecca laughs. It's not a happy sound. It's the sound of something breaking that can't be fixed. The right time, 6 years, the right time. I down the bourbon. Set the glass on the marble coffee table. Too hard. It doesn't break. Both of you, out, now. Liz. I said out. Diane stands. Slowly. Like she's walking through water. She moves toward the door. Stops. Turns back. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Please. You're my best friend. I don't have a best friend. Not anymore. You have 12 hours to be out of Charlotte. After that, I make calls. You'll never work in this state again. She leaves. The door closes. Quiet. I turn to Rebecca. My girl. My brilliant, destroyed girl. What do you need? She looks at me. Something in her eyes I've never seen before. Something cold and clear, and absolutely certain. I need you to help me take everything. From both of them. I want Jonathan's company. His investments. His reputation. Everything. And I want her gone. Completely gone. Like she never existed. Done. Rebecca grabs her purse. Heads for the door. Where are you going? I need to think. I'll call you tomorrow. She leaves. I stand in my living room in my $6 million house. Alone. My phone buzzes. Text from Rebecca. One line. Ask Ryan where he was Easter Sunday. Ryan. Jonathan's business partner. His best man at the wedding. I stare at the message. This is so much worse than I thought. I don't sleep. Can't. I sit in my home office with a glass of water and my laptop. The bourbon is gone. I need to be sharp. Ryan Campbell, 34 years old. Jonathan's business partner. They run Pierce & Campbell Architecture together. Modern commercial buildings. High rises. The kind of work that wins awards and makes millions. Jonathan handles client relations. Ryan handles design. They've been partners for 9 years. Ryan married Kate Murray 3 years ago. Big wedding at the Duke Mansion. 200 guests. Rebecca was maid of honor. Kate and Rebecca have been best friends since canon school. 15 years of sleepovers and secret sharing and being inseparable. I gave them a penthouse as a wedding gift. Top floor of the Trust Building. One of mine. Uptown Charlotte. Floor-to-ceiling windows, 3,000 square feet. Worth $2.4 million. I remember Kate crying when I handed her the keys, hugging me, calling me her second mom. Easter Sunday, April 20th, 6 weeks ago. We went to First Presbyterian, the big stone church on North Tryon. Rebecca played a prelude, some Bach piece that made everyone weep into their programs. Jonathan sat next to her in the pew, held her hand during the sermon. Perfect husband. After church, we went to Quail Hollow Club, brunch on the terrace, mimosas, and eggs Benedict. I remember asking where Ryan was. Jonathan said he wasn't feeling well. Stomach bug, staying home. Kate wasn't there either. Rebecca said she was visiting her parents in Asheville. I opened my laptop, pull up building security footage. I own the trust. I have access to everything, every camera, every keycard scan, every elevator ride. I find Easter Sunday, 7:45 a.m. Ryan's keycard. Penthouse elevator. At 8:30 a.m., another scan. Kate Murray. Same elevator. They stayed inside all day. I fast forward, keep watching. They don't leave until 7 p.m. Together. I go back further. Start checking dates. Random days over the last year. Pattern after pattern. Ryan and Kate. The penthouse. Days when they should have been other places. Weekday mornings. Weekend afternoons. Always together, always alone. Then I find something else. Security footage from the parking garage. March 15th. Kate Murray getting out of her car. She's carrying something, an infant car seat, covered with a blanket. She looks around. Nervous. Takes the elevator up. I check the date against public records, marriage license, birth certificates. Kate and Ryan got married June 7th, 3 years ago. Standard background check comes back clean. Then I pay for the premium search. The one that costs $500 and pulls everything. There it is. Birth certificate. December 10th. Last year. 7 months ago. Baby girl. Name. Elizabeth Kate Campbell. Parents. Ryan Joseph Campbell. And Catherine Ann Murray Campbell. They named her Elizabeth after me. My hands are shaking. I close the laptop, breathe. Count to 10 like my therapist taught me 30 years ago when I was building my first company, and panic attacks were a daily thing. They named their affair baby after me. My phone rings, 4:37 a.m. Rebecca. Did you find it? Yes. All of it? Yes. Silence. I can hear her breathing. Fast. Angry. Ryan and Jonathan have been planning something, she says. I found emails. They're going to merge the architecture firm with a development company in Atlanta. Cut us out. Diane's brother owns the development company. They've been working on it for 8 months. How did you get the emails? I've had access to Jonathan's accounts for 2 years. He doesn't know. He uses the same password for everything. Our wedding date. Of course he does. Arrogant. Stupid. There's more, Rebecca says. Kate is about to be named Director of Arts Programming at the Blumenthal Performing Arts Center. The position I've been working toward for 5 years. The position I was promised. She's getting it because Ryan's father is on the board, and because Jonathan wrote a recommendation letter for her, using my accomplishments, my performances, my reviews. He changed the name and submitted it as hers. I stand up, walk to the window. The sun is starting to rise, pink and gold over the Charlotte skyline, my skyline. When do they announce Kate's position? Monday. 3 days. And the merger? They're signing papers Friday. 2 days. I smile. It's not a nice smile. It's the smile I wore when I destroyed my first competitor. When I took a $2 million company and turned it into $200 million by buying out everyone who doubted me. We have 48 hours. What do? We take everything. But we do it smart, legal, airtight. We make sure they can't fight back, can't recover. We erase them. How? I turn from the window. My daughter's voice on the phone, my brilliant, betrayed daughter who just had her entire life stolen by the people she trusted most. You're going to need to trust me, and you're going to need to be ready to lose some things. Things you love. Like what? Your piano, your career as a performer, your reputation as the sweet Southern girl who plays Chopin and smiles for the cameras. Long pause. What do I get instead? Power, real power, the kind that doesn't need applause. Another pause. Longer. I'm in. Good. Be at my office at 8 a.m. Bring everything, every email, every photo, every document. We're going to war. I hang up. The sun is fully up now. It's going to be a beautiful day. 8 a.m., Harrington Tower, 92nd floor, my private conference room, floor-to-ceiling glass on 3 sides. You can see Bank of America Stadium to the south, NASCAR Hall of Fame to the east. The entire city spread out below us like a game board. Rebecca arrives first. Black suit. Hair pulled back tight. No makeup. She looks like me 20 years ago. All business. All ice. She's carrying a leather portfolio, sets it on the table, doesn't say anything, just nods. At 8:15, my assistant brings in the piano, the black Steinway Model D from the theater, the one Rebecca walked away from 3 nights ago. I had it moved here overnight. Cost me $12,000 in movers and insurance, worth every penny. Rebecca sits at the bench, doesn't play, just sits, hands in her lap, waiting. At 8:30, I send the text. Ryan Campbell and Kate Murray. Emergency meeting. Harrington Tower, 92nd floor. Regarding Pierce and Campbell Architecture merger. Non-negotiable attendance. They arrive at 9. Together. Ryan in a gray suit. Nervous. Kate in a cream maternity dress. Very pregnant. 7 months. Her belly is enormous. She's carrying my namesake. They walk into the conference room. See Rebecca at the piano. See me standing by the windows. They stop. What is this? Ryan's voice, trying to sound confident, failing. Sit down. I don't raise my voice. Don't need to. They sit. Opposite side of the table, Kate's hand goes to her belly, protective. We know everything, I say. Every date, every lie, every hotel, every plan, the merger, the art center position, the recommendation letter, all of it. Ryan goes pale. Kate starts crying immediately. Predictable. Liz, please, let me explain. You don't talk, you listen. I nod to Rebecca. She lifts her hands to the keys, starts playing. Moonlight Sonata, first movement, but wrong. So slow it's almost unrecognizable. Each note held too long. Painful. Deliberate. Rebecca plays 8 measures. Stops, speaks, voice flat, clinical. August 14th. 8 years ago, Ryan's first week as my mother's intern. Kate and Ryan. Downtown Marriott. Room 314. She plays 8 more measures, stops. October 3rd. Same year. My apartment. Kate told me she was staying over for a girls' night. She wasn't. Ryan came in through the parking garage at 11 p.m. Left at 4 a.m. I was in Vienna for a competition. Kate is sobbing now, full body shaking. Ryan just stares. Rebecca continues. Play. Stop. Date. Location. Play. Stop. Date. Location. December 22nd, the Ballantine Hotel, Christmas party weekend. You told me you had the flu, both of you. Play. Stop. February 9th, my birthday dinner. Kate left early, said she had a migraine. Ryan left an hour later, said he had an early meeting. You went to his apartment. Play. Stop. June 7th. Your wedding day. 3 hours before the ceremony. Ryan's dressing room at the Duke Mansion. I was outside the door adjusting my maid of honor dress. I heard you. Kate makes a sound. Animal. Broken. Play. Stop. March 19th. Easter weekend. Kate told me she was in Asheville. Ryan told Jonathan he was sick. The Trust penthouse, all day. While I played Bach at First Presbyterian, while my mother sat in the pew and cried because the music was so beautiful. The piano notes are getting slower, heavier, like a funeral march. April 4th. Kate's obstetrician appointment. I drove you there. Waited in the lobby. You texted Ryan from the ultrasound room. I saw the messages later. You sent him a photo of the sonogram. Wrote. Our girl looks just like you. Play. Stop. April 30th. 3 weeks ago. You called me crying, said you were scared about labor, asked me to be in the delivery room with you. I said yes, I promised I'd be there. I promised I'd hold your hand. Rebecca's hands stop on the keys. She doesn't play, just presses down. No sound, just pressure. You named her Elizabeth, after my mother, the woman who gave you everything, who gave you both everything. You named your affair baby after her. Silence. Complete silence. Even the city noise from 92 floors below seems to stop. I walk to the table, place a folder in front of Ryan, another in front of Kate. These are settlement agreements. You're going to sign them, both of you, right now. Ryan opens his folder, starts reading, goes white. This is insane. You can't do this. We have rights. We have lawyers. You have evidence against you, 6 years of it. Photos, videos, financial records, hotel receipts, bank transfers, emails between you and Jonathan planning the merger, emails between you and Diane, text messages, phone records, and something you didn't know about. I place another document on the table. Kate signed a morality clause when she accepted grant money from my foundation for her arts education degree. Any evidence of fraud or deception voids the grant. She has to pay back $140,000 with interest. Immediately. Kate's face crumbles. Ryan signed a non-compete agreement when he left his internship and started Pearson Campbell. He agreed never to use proprietary information from Harrington Industries. The building designs for the Atlanta merger? Those are based on structural models you developed while working for me. That's theft. Ryan stands up, knocks his chair back. You can't prove that. Rebecca finally looks up from the piano, looks directly at him. Yes, we can. I have your old laptop. The one you gave me, to use for music notation software 3 years ago. You never wiped it. Every file. Every design. Every email. All still there. She smiles. It's terrible. You're going to sign, or we're going to court, and you're going to lose everything. Rebecca stands from the piano, walks to the corner of the room where a large black leather portfolio bag sits. She picks it up, heavy, carries it back to the piano, unzips it, pulls out a file, not a folder, a file, 3 inches thick, bound with metal clips, 300 pages minimum, maybe more. She drops it on the piano lid. The sound echoes through the conference room. Loud. Final. This, she says, is what you actually signed. Ryan stares at the file. Doesn't move. 7 years ago, when you and Kate got married, my mother offered to handle the prenuptial agreement, remember? She said she wanted to protect both of you. Make sure everything was fair. You said yes. You trusted her. Kate is still crying. Softer now. The kind of crying that comes from knowing something terrible is coming and not being able to stop it. You signed a document. 42 pages. Standard prenup language. Asset division. Spousal support. Very fair. Very reasonable. Rebecca opens the file. Flips through pages. Stops at a page marked with a yellow tab. Except it wasn't the real prenup. The real one was 68 pages, and buried in section 19, subsection 4, paragraph 12, is a clause. A very specific clause. She reads from the document. Voice steady, clear. In the event that either party engages in provable extramarital relations or fraudulent financial activity during the course of the marriage, all jointly held assets, business interests, and contractual agreements revert to the non-breaching party, with full legal authority to restructure, dissolve, or transfer said assets without consent of the breaching party. Ryan finally moves, grabs the file, starts flipping through it, frantic. This is fake. I never signed this. Yes, you did. Page 68. Your signature. Notarized, witnessed by 2 attorneys. Both still practicing. Both willing to testify. Kate never signed this. Kate signed her version. Different document. Hers doesn't have this clause. Yours does. My mother had you sign separately. Remember? She said it was for privacy. You signed in her office. Kate signed at home. You never compared documents. I watch Ryan's face. The moment he understands, the moment he realizes he's been outmaneuvered by a woman old enough to be his mother, by a woman he thought he could steal from. Rebecca flips to another tab section. For the past 7 months, you've been moving money. Small amounts, 5,000 here, 10,000 there, trying to hide it from Kate. Trying to build a nest egg for when you left her. When you and Kate ran away together with the baby and started over, you thought you were being smart. She pulls out a spreadsheet. Slides it across the piano. $52 million. Moved through 14 different accounts. Wire transfers to Singapore, the Cayman Islands, Switzerland, cryptocurrency exchanges. Very sophisticated. Very illegal. Kate looks at Ryan, horror on her face. 52 million? Ryan, what did you do? Shut up, Kate. Where did you get $52 million? Rebecca answers for him. Voice sweet. Poisonous. From my mother's company. From Harrington Industries. Ryan has been embezzling for 3 years. Small amounts from construction budgets. Billing for materials that were never purchased. Contractors that don't exist. He thought no one was watching. I step forward, take over. We've been watching for 18 months. Since my forensic accountant noticed a discrepancy in the South Park Tower project, we tracked every dollar, every transfer, every shell company. We let it continue because we needed the full picture. We needed enough to put you in prison for 20 years. Ryan stands. Shaking. You're bluffing. You have nothing. Rebecca smiles. The smile is beautiful, terrible. My daughter has learned well. We have everything. But here's the interesting part. You're not going to prison. She pulls out another document, this one smaller, a single page. This is a stock certificate, 9.7% of Harrington and Company. The company my mother built, the company worth $4.2 billion. You were given these shares 6 years ago as a bonus for excellent work, for loyalty, for being family. Ryan's jaw tightens. He knows where this is going. Those shares are worth approximately $407 million. You've been planning to use them as leverage in the merger, as your golden ticket. You're proof that you're a major player. Bayad, ply, av, an, av. Rebecca sets the certificate on the piano, next to the massive file. Except you don't own them anymore. You sold them. 7 months ago. Through 17 different shell companies. Perfectly legal transactions. Market rate. All properly documented. That's impossible. I never sold them. You did. Your signature is on every document. Notarized. Legal. The shares were purchased by a holding company called Tryon Street Investments. You were paid fair market value. $407 million. The money was deposited into your Singapore account, the one you've been using for your embezzlement. Ryan grabs the certificate, stares at it. This is forgery. This is fraud. It's neither. You signed a power of attorney when you accepted the shares. Standard procedure. You authorized my mother to act on your behalf for any transaction related to those shares. You never read the fine print. No one ever does. I walked to stand next to Rebecca. Mother and daughter. United. Tryon Street Investments bought your shares for exactly $1. The room goes silent. The $407 million? That's the embezzled money. You essentially bought your own shares back with stolen funds, which means you never owned them at all. Which means every document you signed for the merger, every agreement with Diane's brother in Atlanta, every promise you made, worthless. You have nothing. Rebecca's smile gets wider, sweeter. She looks at Ryan, then at Kate, then back at Ryan. You wanted my mother's kingdom. You wanted power. You wanted to take everything we built. Here it is, everything you stole, everything you schemed for, everything you destroyed my life to get. She picks up the stock certificate, holds it up. $1. Kate stands up, too fast, stumbles, catches herself on the edge of the conference table. Her hand goes to her belly, the other hand pressed against her chest like she can't breathe. Stop, please, just stop. Her voice is breaking, not the calculated crying from before, something deeper, something raw. I need to tell you something, both of you, before this goes any further. Ryan reaches for her. She pushes his hand away. Don't touch me. Don't you dare touch me right now. She looks at Rebecca, then at me. Her face is gray, exhausted. The face of someone carrying a weight too heavy to hold anymore. I'm dying. The words hang in the air. Nobody moves. I have cancer. Stage 4. Pancreatic. They found it 11 months ago. Right after I got pregnant. The doctors said I had a choice. Terminate. And start aggressive treatment. Maybe buy myself 2 years. Or carry the baby to term and skip treatment. Maybe 6 months after delivery. Rebecca's expression doesn't change. Frozen. But I see her hand grip the edge of the piano. Knuckles white. I chose the baby. I chose her. Because I've wanted a child my entire life, and this was my only chance. My last chance. Kate's crying now. Real tears, the kind that come from a place beyond manipulation, beyond strategy. I know what I did was unforgivable. I know I destroyed you. Destroyed everything. I've known for 8 years that I was a terrible person, and I did it anyway because I was selfish and broken and I wanted something that wasn't mine. She wipes her face, smears mascara across her cheeks. Ryan and I, we're both broken, we're both damaged. We found each other and we hurt everyone around us because we were too cowardly to face what we were doing. We told ourselves lies. That it was love. That it meant something. That somehow it was okay because we felt something real. Ryan is staring at the floor. Won't look at anyone. But it wasn't love. It was selfishness. It was cruelty. And now I'm dying and this baby, this innocent baby girl who didn't ask for any of this, she's going to be born in 2 months to a mother who won't live to see her first birthday. Kate walks toward Rebecca. Slowly. Each step seems to cost her something. I don't deserve your forgiveness. I don't deserve anything from you, but I'm begging you, not for me. For her, for Elizabeth. She's close enough to touch now. Rebecca doesn't move. Please, please make sure she's okay. Make sure she has a life, a real life. Not this, not what we did, what we destroyed. I don't care what happens to me. I don't care what happens to Ryan. But she deserves better than us. Kate's voice breaks completely, collapses into sobs. She deserves a mother who isn't dying. She deserves a family that isn't built on lies. She deserves everything I can't give her. Rebecca looks at Kate, studies her, like she's looking at a piece of art in a museum. Something distant, historical. Already dead. When Rebecca speaks, her voice is ice. Pure ice. How long? 4 months, maybe 5 if I'm lucky. The cancer is spreading faster than they thought. I'm not doing treatment because it would hurt the baby. Once she's born, I'll have maybe 3 months. 4 if the pain medication keeps working. Does Ryan know? Kate nods. Doesn't look at him. He's known for 6 months. Since the night I told him I was pregnant, I made him promise not to tell anyone. Not even you, especially not you. Rebecca turns to Ryan. He still won't look up. And you were going to let her die alone. While you took the money and ran to Atlanta. While you merged companies and played businessman with Jonathan and Diane. While Kate raised your daughter for 3 months and then died. Ryan finally looks up. His face is destroyed. I didn't know what to do. I was scared. I am scared. You're pathetic. Rebecca's voice is so cold I feel it from across the room. She turns back to Kate. Your daughter will never lack for anything. She will have the best education. The best health care. The best opportunities. She will grow up knowing she is loved and protected and valued. She will never wonder where her next meal comes from, or whether she's safe, or whether she matters. Kate's face floods with relief, gratitude, hope. Rebecca continues. But you will never see her again. From this moment forward, you don't exist. You don't call. You don't write. You don't send birthday cards, or Christmas presents, or deathbed letters. You don't get to be noble. You don't get to be the tragic mother who sacrificed everything. You get nothing. The hope drains from Kate's face. Rebecca, please, I just want to hold her, once, just once. No. I'm her mother. You're a dying stranger who destroyed my life to create hers. You made your choice. You chose this baby over treatment. You chose Ryan over our friendship. You chose betrayal over honesty. Now I'm making my choice. Rebecca picks up the settlement agreement, holds it out to Kate. You're going to sign this. You're going to give up all parental rights. You're going to designate me as legal guardian effective immediately upon birth. And then, you're going to leave Charlotte. Today. You're going to spend your last month somewhere far away from here. You're going to die alone. Kate takes the document, hands shaking. And if I don't sign? Then the baby goes into foster care when you die, and Ryan goes to prison for embezzlement, and you spend your last months watching everything fall apart anyway. At least this way she has a chance. Kate stares at the paper, at Rebecca, at the life she destroyed, and the death she's facing. She signs. Kate finishes signing, sets the pen down. Her hand is shaking so badly the pen rolls off the table, hits the floor. Neither of us moves to pick it up. I take the document from her, check the signature. Legal, binding. Notarized witness signature already in place. My attorney planned ahead. Everything is airtight. You have 2 hours to be out of your apartment. Pack what you need. Leave the rest. The penthouse belongs to me. Always has. I'm taking it back. Kate nods. Can't speak. Just nods. There's a car waiting downstairs. It will take you to the airport. There's a ticket to San Diego. One way. You have a furnished apartment waiting. Paid for. 6 months' rent. After that you're on your own. San Diego? Far enough away that you won't be tempted to come back. Close enough to good hospitals. You'll need them. Kate looks at Rebecca one more time. Desperate, pleading without words. Rebecca doesn't look back. She's already turned away, studying the city through the glass. Like Kate isn't even there anymore. Like she's already dead. Kate leaves. The door closes behind her. The sound echoes. Now it's just Ryan. He's still sitting at the table, head in his hands, the settlement agreement unsigned in front of him. He looks smaller than he did 30 minutes ago. Diminished. Like watching a building collapse in slow motion. I walk around the table, stand directly in front of him. He doesn't look up. Ryan Campbell. He flinches at his name. Look at me. He lifts his head. His eyes are red, wet. He's been crying. Good. You came to me 8 years ago, 26 years old, fresh out of NC State, architecture degree, bright-eyed, hungry. You wanted to learn. You wanted to build things. You wanted to make a mark on this city. My voice is steady. Controlled. Every word deliberate. I gave you an internship, paid you $30 an hour when most firms were paying minimum wage or nothing at all. I mentored you, introduced you to everyone who mattered in Charlotte. When you wanted to start your own firm, I co-signed your first business loan, $2 million. When the bank said no, I said yes. Ryan's face crumples. He knows what's coming. I invited you to family dinners, to Christmas at my house, to Rebecca's performances. I treated you like a son, like family. Do you remember what you said to me at Rebecca and Jonathan's wedding? He doesn't answer. You said, "Thank you for believing in me when no one else did." You said, "I'll never forget what you've done for me." You said, "I'm going to make you proud." I let that sit. Let it hurt. Instead, you stole from me. You embezzled $52 million. You falsified documents. You betrayed my daughter's best friend. You got her pregnant while she was dying. You planned to abandon her and the baby. You conspired with my daughter's husband to steal my company. You lied for 8 years, every day, every conversation, every smile, every handshake. All lies. I lean down, get close to his face, let him see exactly what I am, what I've always been. Charlotte Steele, wrapped in a smile. You are terminated, effective immediately. You are no longer employed by Harrington Industries or any subsidiary company. You are no longer affiliated with Pierce and Campbell Architecture. Your business license will be revoked by the end of the day. Your professional certifications will be under review by the state board. Every firm you've ever worked with will receive notification of your termination and the reasons behind it. Ryan tries to speak. I hold up one hand. Security is outside that door. They will escort you to your office. You have 15 minutes to collect personal items only. No files, no documents, no electronics, nothing that belongs to this company. Then they will escort you to your car. You will drive straight to the North Carolina state line. You have 30 minutes to be out of this state. Liz, please. If you are still in North Carolina in 31 minutes, I make phone calls. Every architectural firm between here and Atlanta gets a very detailed email. Every contractor you've ever worked with, every supplier, every developer, every banker, every city council member, every building inspector. Your name becomes poison. You will never work in commercial architecture again. Not in this state. Not in the South. Nowhere that matters. Ryan stands, shaking. He reaches for me, like he's going to grab my arm. Beg. Don't touch me. My voice cracks like a whip. He freezes. You grew up in South Park, Myers Park Academy, Old Charlotte Money, country club every Sunday. You were raised to be a gentleman, to have dignity, to take your losses like a man. I step back. Create distance. South Park boys don't cry. They don't beg. They don't fall apart in public. Ryan's face is streaming with tears. He drops to his knees. Actual knees. On the floor of my conference room, 92 stories above the city, he thought he'd own one day. Please, Liz, please, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'll do anything. I'll pay it back. All of it. I'll sign anything. Just please don't do this, please. He's sobbing now, gasping, hands clasped together like prayer. I look down at him. This man I trusted. This man I built up. This man who destroyed everything. I turn my back. South Park boys don't cry, Ryan. They disappear. I walk to the window, look out at my city, my skyline, my kingdom that no one will ever take from me again. Behind me I hear Rebecca open the door, hear her speak to security, hear them enter, hear Ryan being lifted to his feet, hear him still crying, still begging. I don't turn around. The door closes. Silence. 3 months later, August, Charlotte summer. The kind of heat that makes asphalt shimmer and air conditioning a religion. I get reports. Weekly. From a private investigator I keep on retainer. I don't ask for them, he just sends them. Updates on loose ends. On people who used to matter. Ryan Campbell is living in his car. A 2012 Honda Accord, silver, parked behind Old Mecklenburg Brewery in South End. He moves it every few days to avoid tickets. Showers at the YMCA on East Moorhead. Eats at the sandwich shop that gives day-old bread to anyone who asks. He tried to leave North Carolina, made it to the state line, turned around, came back. I don't know why. Pride maybe. Stupidity. The belief that somehow he could fix this, rebuild, start over. He applied to 43 architecture firms in 3 states. All rejected him. He applied to construction companies, engineering firms, even drafting positions at small design shops. Nothing. Word travels fast in this industry. My word travels faster. Last week, he applied for a job at Target. Stocking shelves. Night shift. They turned him down. Background check flagged the embezzlement investigation. Even retail doesn't want him. He's 34 years old, penniless, sleeping in a car that needs an oil change. This is what happens when you steal from me. Kate made it 6 weeks in San Diego. Then the pain got too bad. She came back to Charlotte, not to see Rebecca, not to beg forgiveness. She came back because she wanted to die near something familiar, near the ghost of the life she destroyed. She checked into Novant Health Presbyterian. Told them she was in labor. She wasn't. Not yet. But the cancer had spread to her spine, her liver, her lungs. She could barely breathe. They admitted her. Made her comfortable. Called it hospice with obstetric monitoring. The baby came early, July 28th, 6 weeks premature. Emergency C-section. 3 pounds, 9 ounces, tiny, fragile. But breathing. They named her Elizabeth Kate Campbell. My name. Still my name. Even after everything. Kate held her once, for 3 minutes. She was too weak to hold her longer. She looked at her daughter, this baby girl who cost her everything, who she chose over her own life. She whispered something. The nurse couldn't hear what. Then they took the baby to NICU. Kate died 4 hours later. Alone. No family in the room. No friends. Just nurses who didn't know her story, who thought she was brave, noble, a mother who sacrificed everything for her child. They were wrong, but I let them believe it. The baby stayed in NICU for 3 weeks. Rebecca never visited. Never asked about her. Never said the name out loud. But I knew. I could see it in her eyes. In the way she looked away when I mentioned it, in the way her hand would go to her chest like something hurt. I found a family. Dilworth, old neighborhood, good people, Sarah and Michael Chen, both doctors, both in their late 30s, married 12 years, spent the last 8 trying to have a baby. Every fertility treatment, every specialist, nothing worked. They wanted a child so badly it hurt to watch them talk about it. I made calls, pulled strings, cut through red tape that normally takes years. Private adoption. Fast-tracked. Legal. Airtight. They named her Emma. Emma Rose Chen. New name. New life. New chance. Rebecca set up a trust. Anonymous, untraceable, every medical bill paid until the child turns 18, every expense, doctor visits, medications, emergency room trips, everything. The Chens will never know where the money comes from. They'll just know their daughter is covered, protected, safe. That's the deal Rebecca made with herself, with God, with whatever cosmic force decides who deserves redemption and who deserves destruction. The baby lives. The baby thrives. The baby never knows her real parents were broken people who destroyed lives to create her. And Rebecca never touches a piano again. Not once. Not even to play a single note. The Steinway in my living room sits silent, dust collecting on the keys, a shrine to something that used to be. She had the piano in my office moved out, donated it to Queen's University, anonymous gift. The music school sent a thank you letter. She threw it away without reading it. She cut her hair, all of it. The long brown waves she used to tie back for performances, gone. Now it's sharp, precise. Cut close to her head like mine was 20 years ago when I was building my first company. When I decided beauty was a distraction and power was the only thing that mattered. She wears black now. Only black. Tailored suits, expensive. Tom Ford. Giorgio Armani. The same brands I wear. She walks different. Talks different. The soft southern lilt in her voice is gone. Replaced with something harder. Sharper. Northern. Last week, she turned 31. No party, no celebration, just another day, another meeting, another hostile takeover, another company absorbed into the Harrington empire. I promoted her. Executive Vice Chairman. Second most powerful person in a $4.2 billion company. She earned it. Not because she's my daughter. Because she's ruthless. Strategic. Fearless. The board tried to question it, tried to suggest nepotism. I shut them down in 45 seconds, reminded them that Rebecca orchestrated the takedown of a $52 million embezzlement scheme, that she negotiated 3 major acquisitions in 2 months, that she increased quarterly profits by 18% while cutting operational costs by 12%. They voted unanimously to approve her promotion. She sits in meetings now with men twice her age, men who built empires, men who thought they could intimidate her. She stares them down, speaks in numbers and percentages and cold hard facts. She doesn't smile, doesn't apologize, doesn't soften her edges to make them comfortable. She is me. 25 years ago, before I learned to hide the steel behind Southern charm, before I learned that women in business have to be twice as smart and half as threatening. Rebecca never learned that lesson. She doesn't want to. Sometimes I look at her across the conference table, this woman who used to make audiences weep with Chopin, who played piano like she was translating emotions directly from her soul to the keys, who believed in beauty and art and love. That woman is gone. In her place is this: power, control, the ability to destroy anyone who threatens us. She traded her piano for a kingdom. I don't know if she won or lost. 3 a.m. The city is asleep. We're not. Rebecca and I stand on the rooftop of Harrington Tower, 92 floors up, the highest private rooftop in Charlotte, wind coming off Bank of America Stadium to the south, cool for August, almost cold. The city spreads out below us. Green lights from the stadium, white lights from office buildings, red lights from cell towers blinking in rhythm. Our kingdom. Everything we can see, everything we built, everything we took back. I bring 2 glasses. Crystal. Expensive. And a bottle of Blanton's. Single barrel bourbon. The good stuff. $700 a bottle. I pour 2 fingers in each glass. Hand one to Rebecca. She takes it, doesn't drink, just holds it, looking out at the lights. We haven't spoken in 3 hours. We've been working. Late-night contract negotiations with a development firm in Raleigh. They thought they could lowball us. Thought we were desperate to close the deal before quarter end. They were wrong. Rebecca got them to increase their offer by $42 million. Didn't raise her voice once, just presented facts, numbers, projections, cold hard reality. They signed at 2:30 a.m. That's who she is now. The wind picks up, stronger. Her short hair doesn't move. Too much product, too controlled. Everything about her is controlled now. Do you ever regret it? I ask. She doesn't answer right away. Takes a sip of bourbon, lets it burn. Regret what? All of it, the takedown, the scorched earth, what you gave up. She's quiet for a long time, just stands there, glass in hand, looking at Charlotte like she's memorizing it, like she's counting every light, every building, every piece of territory we own. I regret trusting people who didn't deserve it. I regret believing love was stronger than greed. I regret being naive enough to think my talent would protect me. She turns, looks at me. Her eyes are different now, harder, older. She's 31, but she looks 40. Looks like me. But I don't regret destroying them, any of them. They earned what they got. Jonathan signed the divorce papers last week. I know. He's moving to Nashville, starting over. New firm, new life. Good for him. No emotion in her voice. None. Like we're discussing the weather. Like her marriage of 6 years means nothing. Like the man she loved enough to say vows to is just another file closed. Another problem solved. Diane had the baby 2 weeks ago. Boy. 8 pounds, healthy. Rebecca's hand tightens on the glass. Just for a second. Then relaxes. Does Jonathan know? He knows. He's paying child support. That's it. No custody, no visitation. Diane's raising him alone in Atlanta. Pudik. The wind shifts, brings the smell of the city, concrete, exhaust, money. Do you ever miss it? I ask. The piano. The performances. The music. She doesn't answer, just stares out at the skyline. Then she moves. Walks to the metal railing at the edge of the rooftop. Safety rail. Steel. Cold. She sets her glass down on the ledge. Lifts one hand. Index finger extended. Taps the railing. Once. The metal rings. Clear, pure. A single note echoing out into the night air. A minor. Low. Dark. Mournful. The sound carries. Spreads across the rooftop. Down into the city. Fading but not dying. Just changing. Becoming part of the wind. Part of Charlotte. Rebecca picks up her glass. Turns back to me. I didn't lose my music, Mom. Her voice is soft, almost a whisper, but I hear every word. I just changed the key. She looks out at the city again. At the lights, at the buildings, at everything we control. Charlotte used to play in major. Bright, happy, optimistic. All those Easter Sundays and barbecues at Quail Hollow and piano recitals where everyone smiled and clapped and pretended everything was beautiful. She takes another sip of bourbon. Now it plays in minor. Darker, harder, more honest. The city sounds different when you own it, when you know what people are really capable of, when you've seen behind the masks. I walk to stand beside her, both of us at the railing, both of us looking down at our empire. You became me, I say. No, I became better. She's right, she is better. I built this empire over 33 years, brick by brick, deal by deal. She mastered it in 3 months. Learned everything I know and added her own ruthlessness on top. The baby, Rebecca says. Emma, is she okay? First time she said the name out loud. First time she's acknowledged the child exists. She's perfect. Healthy. Happy. The Chens love her. They send photos to the adoption agency. I get copies. Good. Silence, just wind, just the city breathing below us. Then I smile. First real smile I've had in months, maybe longer. The kind of smile that comes from pride, from recognition, from seeing your legacy standing next to you and knowing it will outlast you. That's my girl. Rebecca looks at me. Almost smiles. Almost. The corner of her mouth twitches. As close as she gets these days. Queens don't bow, Mom. Nah, baby. We don't. We buy the throne. I raise my glass. She raises hers. Crystal, touching crystal. The sound rings out clear. Another note. Another chord. Minor key. Beautiful and terrible. We drink. Below us, Charlotte sleeps, unaware that 2 women stand above it, controlling it, owning it. 2 women who lost everything and took it back with interest. 2 women who traded softness for steel, music for power, trust for control. No men standing beside us, no partners, no husbands, no best friends, no one to betray us, no one to steal from us, no one to diminish us. Just us, mother and daughter, silhouettes against the city lights, against the skyline we built, against the empire we protect. The wind picks up one more time, stronger, colder. We don't move, don't flinch, just stand there. Unmovable, unbreakable, victorious. The city is ours. It always was. We just had to remind everyone.